So those of you who have been following ZMF for a number of years know I started with T50 mods, and then in 2016 came out with the Eikon. And so this headphone ended up with like that real sub-bassy downslope frequency response to try to get that linearity. And you know, definitely one of my favorite headphones we've ever made. You know, closed back headphones have such a good use case, you know, especially if you use them at work or something or don't want to bother anyone around you. If you go back to and just check out over on HeadFi, you know, the old thread here, if you go to Bert reviews, and it's a 3-part Eikon in-depth review. Someone to put this amount of time into something I created and a 3-part thing. I mean, if you haven't watched this, go watch it. And this is a great review too. Not only is it entertaining because he does it as Bert and Ernie, but it's a fantastic way of reviewing headphones that is more in depth than most things I've ever seen.
Zach sells different modified versions of the T50 RP, including the Classic, Blackwood, and Ori's. I would say they're too big for portable use, and they do require an amplifier to sound their best. Why? No reason.
Eikon, Bert reviews, go check it out. Obviously, it's a great thing. If you are into the Harman Target, this is probably the closest that you're ever going to get to a Harman tuned headphone from us. There's a few things about the Harman that don't always jive exactly with my preferences. One being the upper mids can sound a little bit strident to me when you go up or over that, especially in a closed back headphone. And, you know, the second being that I do like a little more treble extension in the high end. And you can see this is with suede pads here. The couple measurements I'm going to show in this video will be with suede pads. But you can see it's a little more laid back in the upper mids, and there's a touch more mid bass in the the low bass there. But that the node of the bass, if you're looking here, is around 50 hertz. That's kind of where the node or the highest bass point is. When you're thinking about bass, and it really rumbles. And so that's how we kind of got that Eikon-like sound in the Atrium Closed. The one thing also you should know about this graph is that I did it with the 5128 Brule and Care. Here's the original Eikon. Here's the Atrium Closed. I'm going to do this with suede pads because the suede pads are what I have on the Eikon right now. Let's go ahead and put these on the Brule and Care. So the solid line here is the Atrium Closed, and the dotted line here is the Eikon. And you can see there's a lot of similarities between the two headphones. One change we made in the drivers is this driver is a touch more nodal than the original Eikon driver, just meaning it's a little bit thinner, and it doesn't quite move as a panel so much. And we did that by increasing the rubber surround size and making the membrane a little thinner. And I mean, overall, I think what you're gonna hear is just kind of a headphone that sounds a little bigger, a little rumblier, and has that same kind of downslope linearity that you want, but in more of a classic kind of biodynamic sound. One cool thing about the Atrium Closed that's worth just kind of looking at, and you can kind of see, if we look from above here, is these cups are really big. And when you put them on the head, they kind of wobble around almost, which is cool. I mean, it's nice to have a big headphone, but the Atrium Closed cups, they're a little more sleek. They don't wobble around quite as much on the head. And then when you look at them, from the side, They still have some depth to them. You can kind of look at the angle of the cups. There's a little more area on the Atrium Closed to kind of put your thumbs on here. So out of all the headphones that I've designed, there's just something about the Atrium Closed that just feels really nice in the hand. And then the last thing that is really unique about the Atrium Closed is that we used our new Caldera pads, but with the slightly fluted design where it's thinner on the inside and then thinner around the ear, it really makes you feel like you're wearing a really open headphone because there's less surface area on your ear. But then at the same time, it also diffuses and opens the sound as it goes towards your ear, which works in concert with the Atrium damping system to really give you like impact into your ear, which you really want with a headphone. The Atrium damping system, with this being closed, works more like a closed pad. And what I found is by having the perforations on the outside, it slowly diffuses the air out. So yeah, that about covers it for the Atrium Closed intro. There's a lot more to go into with this headphone. This is definitely the culmination of the last like 15 years of work I've been doing since I started modding T50s. So I'm really excited for everyone to hear it. If you want to check out more about this headphone with measurements and Atrium damping system and how we're building it, definitely keep looking for videos on our channel and check down in the comments for any questions you have. I'll check you guys later.